protests to make money, they must not be punctuated and characterized by looting, because it defeats the purpose. If, as citizens, we are not happy that our leaders are stealing from us, that we have people in the National Assembly who are stealing from us through their extortionate wages and allowances, why are we stealing? That means we probably will be worse than the politicians that we complain about. Why are we stealing? I believe that the entire story about this protest has not been heard. How come in the Southeast, for example, we didn't have protests? How come in at least 3 out of the Southwest states we didn't have protests? How come in at least 2 of the North Central states we didn't have protests? How come in Adamawa the number of pro-government protesters was far higher than the people who came out to protest against the hardship in the land? Why didn't we see in Zamfara State the kind of protest that we saw in Kano? Why is it that in Kano today, people were carrying Russian flags? What is the intention of the people who distributed Russian flags to these individuals? How come some people were saying that Mulkin Soja Mukeso, which in Hausa means, translated from Hausa means it is military rule that we want? How did we get to this point? So you will see that the agenda of people who got involved in the protests were kind of disparate in nature. There were those who got into it hoping to push the narrative that there should be a regime change. There are those who got into it hoping to see how they can get government to be more empathetic and come up with policies that make life more meaningful for our people, rather than policies that starve our people to death. There are those who got into it with the intention of pushing an agenda, which is military rule. I believe that there were also people who got into it out of deep-seated hatred for the government of the day and will be happy to see anything that embarrasses the government or probably brings it down. So the goals of those who got involved in the protests were different. There were those who did not even understand why they were protesting. And there were those who entered the protest with the sole aim of using it to steal. I saw someone who carried a bag of cement. What are you going to do with it? It's not Gary, for God's sake. Maybe the goal is simply to find a buyer, and we could be ready to sell it for just 2,000 naira just to make some money.